This is like 7 clicks. Anybody muted?
Let me double check.
Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome back after a long week off to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. Today, I'll ask Tommy to explain why he hasn't taken me up on any of my recent offers to hang out at my house. He previously said that he wanted specific invitations to come by and play games or watch movies while we hang on my couch. I texted him about a dozen offers since the last episode hit the airwaves, asking him to come and mingle some. This motherfucker tried to tell me he was too busy to even accept a single one. Well, no more specific offers now, jerk. Only the standing open invitation I've always extended you. I thought you really wanted to come hang out with Emily and me, but you only pretended to. And don't give me some horseshit excuse about how you were too far away with your family in Disney. We could have been writing new bits for the show and creating some history. Number 9ers, it's the man who's too good for me despite all the recent offers that I've been dropping him. Tommy motherfucking Washington. What's been up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Pat.
You bailed, man. I offered you a dozen invitations to come hang out.
So it's funny, Pat, is before the show today, I took a ride by your house.
Yeah.
And I did not know that you had purchased a new vehicle.
I leased it.
Yeah, either way. That you had received a new vehicle to drive. So I drive by your house today with a good friend of ours. And I'm like, this motherfucker's having a party and I wasn't invited. So I just kept driving on by because I was like, there's so many fucking cars there.
Despite there's not that many cars there first.
There were 4 cars in the driveway with 2 people there.
Okay, well, one of those is Emily's.
You find it weird that you have more vehicles than I do?
No, I think it's important to have a backup plan for, anybody who may need one. What if my mom calls me and says her car is having trouble? She could take one of mine.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Actually, I'm trying to convince her to take the one that I just got as her daily driver because she drives like 3 miles a day, and then I would just take it on the weekends.
Why would you do that?
So that it runs.
She has it. It's brand new, bro. You're not gonna have a problem with it running.
All right. Well, I don't know, man.
Pat, you like my shirt?
I do. I love your shirt. Tommy's rocking a shirt from Universal Studios, which he clearly had mailed to him because he was trying to sell me on this whole he's in Disney thing, so he couldn't come hang out with me because he was too fucking busy for me.
You know, they're literally 10 minutes away from each other, Universal and Disney.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you were in Disney. I get it. So it says, just another sexy bald guy. It's a pretty good shirt.
I also have Universal Studios sweatpants on.
Oh, you do have Universal Studios. Wow, you're really taking this gag pretty far, this whole you were in Florida thing.
Yeah, I got to the house this morning at 3 a.m.
I bet you did. I bet you. So you were gone this whole time while I was inviting you to come hang out.
I actually offered to hang out a couple times today, and you just kept saying, oh, yeah, the podcast. So I said, oh, yeah.
You didn't offer to hang out today.
Yes, I sure did.
I don't recall this.
I said, I will 100% get down with you on Sunday. So anyway, hold on, I got a work text message. I'm on vacation. I'm getting text messages.
Oh my God. So, recent breaking news here. Breaking news.
You're talking about Tony's text?
Yeah, but there's a second one. So Tony texts us this morning and says, holy fucking shit. There's a 6-part Mark Wahlberg documentary on HBO called Wall Street. Get it? I won't be able to sleep on my stomach for weeks. He just texted us. Now that was
last night. I got it when I landed in Boston at midnight. So I don't know what time he really sent.
It's been about 14 hours since he sent that.
He watched the whole thing already.
He just sent me a text that says, holy fucking shit. Just mere hours after terrific news about 6-part Mark Wahlberg documentary does terrible news break that his mom died. I wish I could give him my shoulder to cry on.
Oh man, that's really sad.
That's fucked. I'm glad that she must have been able to see the documentary. She must have been able to see the finished product. Because she wasn't waiting for it to come out on HBO.
Man, that's too bad.
That sucks bad.
Yeah.
Tony not wasting the opportunity to make a gay comment about Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
No shot there.
I don't get what's up with that, but So anyway, Pat, I got a couple surprises for you and for the live stream for the show. I figured that we would recap my trip, my real trip.
Your alleged trip.
I have even more evidence that I was there.
More mail.
More. So you have in here that we are going to do a mail time segment. I don't think anybody listened to the best of episodes.
I did. I thought they were great. I thought you did a really good job on them.
Thanks,
what
man.
up, C Money the Prince? Your son is decked out Disney head to toe.
Facts.
He's got a Universal hat, a Walt Disney Company hoodie, and a Mickey Mouse t-shirt on right now, looking fly as can be.
Well, since he's here, Pat. Oh, you want to see Erica's shirt?
Yes.
Show the shirt.
Erica's just poking her head around the corner like she's farting and walking it in. Her shirt says, "I'm with the sexy bald guy." Absolutely classic. Eric, I like your hair. Did you get your hair done while you were away? Or right before you left? Okay, it looks good.
So, Pat, this is the first thing. I borrowed this from Colin because he got it. Okay?
Why do I feel like I'm going to be putting immense amounts of pain in a second?
You're not going to be.
What? So you ordered that on Amazon? Did you break it?
This is the replica of what they actually used in the first movies.
I see that, yeah. Let me see. What? Oh my god, it's got
so you can buy those. So for those of you listening, if you can hear it, it's a lightsaber, and it's not like one of those cheap ones that you get where the tube comes out. It has a plastic tube that lights up and this thing makes all kinds of noises.
It's weird. Why is it?
I think it's disconnecting.
Yeah.
Inside.
You have to put it in.
Put it in really hard, he said. Colin said put it in really hard.
No, you know what? I'm just going to pretend like it made pretty cool noises while I was playing with it. This thing's serious.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
If you bang it against stuff, it will like make a noise.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because
it seems pretty durable. I mean, not indestructible, but pretty durable.
They said, I guess, because I wasn't there when he got it. My parents were with him, and they said that you could play with them lightly, like if you had a friend that had one.
Yeah,
and they'll make noises.
And they're clearly designed to that piece will pop out if you do break the
actual lightsaber. Well, when you buy these, you have to buy them
choose
separate.
The color.
Yeah, and you have to buy them separate, and there's different lengths.
Yeah,
for the tube and stuff. Not
you went with the old Obi-Wan and Luke style, huh? I like it.
Not very cheap.
I could assume that it was not very cheap.
Yeah, so
what do you pay for a T-shirt in Disney?
They're actually not bad, like $30. So.
All right.
Well, like you figure if you're buying a T-shirt, yeah, the hoodies are not cheap.
And the hats
are
40.
No, the hats were not 40.
My hat was 40. The Disney one. This one wasn't. But
easy. So anyway, so that's number one. But I also wanted to show you this, Pat, because this kind of Phobic says a giant dildo. That's a giant dildo.
I like how he had to break that down so he could write it on the feed there. What's up, Phobic?
So this is a picture of what pretty much sums up the trip for you, Pat.
Oh my god! That makes me so happy. That's fucking great.
So that was a water slide at Volcano Bay in Universal.
That looks like a beluga whale going down. You are the whitest. There's so much light reflecting off of you that it is hard to tell where you are and the water is.
So
that's amazing.
That's off a water slide that shoots out. And you drop 6 feet into water. Yeah, it's a big pool in the bottom. Pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So the first time,
favorite picture.
Huh?
That's my new favorite picture.
Yeah, that's a great fucking picture. I did that on. So the first time I wrote it, I didn't do it, and then me, Colin, and my dad went on it, and I said when I get down to the bottom, I'm gonna do the old thumbs up on the way out.
Nice.
And it actually worked, so I bought the picture. So that's how the trip was. All in all, a lot of walking. A lot of cool rides. I sent you some pictures and videos.
You sent me nothing worth posting on Instagram that didn't have every member of your family in it, and I didn't know if you wanted them on Instagram.
I mean, most of us are on Instagram, but that doesn't matter. What, the Star Wars at Disney, Pat?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, those pictures, it's like you're just walking on the movie set.
It's fucking insane. And it's not, so Star Wars I was really taken back by the amount of detail they put into it. The ride I sent you with the video that I sent you with what's his name there? Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Talking. That ride in itself is so detailed and so like it's like you're in the movie.
That's awesome.
It's fucking insane.
I promised Emily that we would go to Disney. We're going back a couple months, maybe around Christmas time. I promised her we'd go within 5 years. That's the plan. But then I didn't realize that Disney and Universal were two different things. So since then, I have roped her into but half the time will be Universal, so I can do Star Wars.
Well, so there's Star Wars at Disney.
What's at Universal? I thought Star Wars at Universal.
Star Wars does or Universal has.
Where's Animal Kingdom?
That's
Universal
Disney.
has Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
She's a big Harry Potter fan. Did you guys do both?
Yes.
Oh, obviously, you have a Universal shirt on.
Yes.
And he has a Disney shirt on.
So if you're going for rides, I would say Universal's the way to go.
Real ride.
Like roller coasters and stuff like that. But if you're going for like 4D rides and virtual rides and stuff like that, Disney all day long. Disney has some of the. We did an Avatar ride. Now, mind you, I've never seen Avatar before in my life.
Yeah.
We did.
But it's your new favorite movie?
We watched it afterwards.
Yeah.
Because this ride was it's insane, dude. You sit in this little cart and if you watch Avatar, they fly around on these bird things, right? But they got to get linked up to it. So it takes you on a ride on one of those things through it is insane.
Does the ground move?
You're moving. And it's like you're in the way the screen works is you're in it.
Yeah.
And you put on 3D glasses, so all the stuff's coming. It's
you
really
sit on the machine like this.
Yes, and it locks you in. So there's like a back
for those
part.
of you who cannot see Erica, she is straddling the machine. Yeah, squatting.
Erica
like a horse.
Well, like a
motorcycle almost.
Okay.
Is how you sit on it.
If water splashes and like water drops.
Yeah, like mist.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could actually, because it's a bird, right? You can feel it breathing.
Oh, that's weird.
Because you're like straddling its neck almost.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Eric and I did a ride called Soaring, and you sit in this chair, and they raise you up and it puts you into the screen, right? And it's like you're paragliding all over the world.
That's awesome.
It takes you from like one thing to another, and you can, like at one point it brought us to, I would say Africa, where elephants are, and you could smell the grass.
Nice.
There was another one where it took you over the ocean. You could smell the ocean.
Huh.
It like super, super well done rides.
I like that. I like the fully immersive.
You felt like you're on a broomstick, but
that was a Universal, and Dad was too fat to ride
it. It was.
You must have been super disappointed that you weren't allowed to play on the ride that makes you feel like you're sitting on a broomstick.
I see what you did there.
You get like flipped upside down and everything. It's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of cool rides. It was all in all a great trip. We only had one day of bad weather.
It felt really bad. You sent me a picture of you in a
poncho,
and I was like, I hope that doesn't keep up.
Well, so if that didn't make it worse, right? So the park stayed open. Now, it was the first day we were there, like the first full day, first park day, and we went to Animal Kingdom, right? So, and that's where we did the Avatar ride. But they also have a safari that you ride through, and you can see all the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we were going to do that, and then it started raining. So we're standing in, they had this tree, and it's a Bug's Life. It's a 4D movie.
Yep.
And we're standing in line. Starts thundering out. It's pouring. Luckily, we're in cover. And they said, we're going to temporarily shut down the ride. Because of everything. So we're just standing there. We're like, fuck it. We're covered. No big deal. And then some little shit pulled the fucking fire alarm in the ride. And we all had to evacuate the ride. So we ended up leaving after that. So now, mind you, fast forward to...
No other ride.
Yeah, because no other rides were open. They were shutting down the stores.
We had no idea who did it.
Well, we didn't until we're standing in line in Star Wars. And me and my father assume. So we hear this lady talking to her kids like, stop touching stuff, blah, blah, blah. Didn't we learn the other day about touching stuff and how bad that could be? And I'm assuming the people behind us at one of the Star Wars rides is the kid that pulled the fire alarm.
I hope so. I would have asked.
You
the one that ruined my kid's day?
Yeah, so fucking mad. The ride that I sent you most of the pictures from, with like the Millennium Falcon on the side and stuff, that ride, you go inside a pod, and you have Eric and I were pilots. My parents were gunners.
Yeah.
And Colin was an engineer. So, and you fly this Falcon through fucking space.
That's awesome.
And you're shooting at stuff, and we have to steer it around stuff. It was really well done.
We crashed.
Yeah, yeah. But that ride was really sick. Unfortunately, my mom gets a little motion sickness, so that ride made her a little nauseous. And then we went right over to the next Star Wars ride, which seemed like it was going to be okay because you just sit in a cart, right? And like, there's a couple different things that you do through it, and I don't want to give it away. It's like it's an 18-minute ride.
Holy shit!
Yeah, like I said, it's really well done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's when I sent you the video of Darth Vader talking. And that one, what really did it in was they put you into a thing, and it's when you're escaping. Yeah. And it's like it flies you away. And it doesn't move a whole lot, but that...
It moved enough to set Mom over the edge?
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm done. So we went and did... luckily, with the exception of Animal Kingdom, I don't think there was a park that we didn't get to ride a ride that we wanted to ride.
Okay.
So
did you get to see any baby animals?
Like real ones?
Yeah, like a lion cub.
No.
Wait, Animal Kingdom has real animals, right?
Yes, on the safari.
When we got to Animal Kingdom, we knew we wanted to do Avatar, so we booked it straight to Avatar.
Oh, okay.
And then we went on like one other ride, and
then it started.
And then we got into then we bought the ponchos, got into line for the last one.
Yeah.
And then we had to leave.
What'd you pay for a poncho?
$15.
Oh my god.
No. Was it 15? No, I think it was 12. Because it was like 36 bucks.
If it was more than $2, they're just bastards.
Well, so I gotta tell you, very good quality. We'll be able to keep those ponchos for a long time. They're not like trash bag ponchos. They were like heavy vinyl plastic.
Do they say Disney on them?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll be able to keep them for a while. My dad was telling me the one that he has for my mom that my mom was wearing, he bought at CVS and was $10. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So I'm not upset with the $12. Surprisingly, I wasn't, with the exception of we ate in one of the parks ate a meal in one of the parks one day.
Yeah.
And that was, for what it was extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Which we knew that going into it. With that aside, I wasn't, there's some, like the Mickey ears and Minnie ears, $30. I wouldn't buy those.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's some stuff that's extremely overpriced, but like the t-shirts and even the hoodie, you know what I mean? For a regular hoodie, you're going to pay $50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
for the souvenir hoodie.
Yeah, for the souvenir hoodie if he's saying $70, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But all in all, great trip. Happy to be back. Happy to be doing the podcast.
Me too. You guys really are trying to sell this where Tom's been out of town this whole time, huh? I invited you every day, and you couldn't just come over and hang out. Did he tell you that I was inviting him the whole time?
No, but you said he was invited when I texted you.
What happened?
She texted you at some point, and you said, I was invited over.
Pictures.
Oh, yeah.
We were standing in line for...
And I said Tom was invited over. I've been inviting him every day. He wanted specific invitations to come over and hang out with me.
And
he
now
says
that
my open invitation is not good enough. So every day...
So I didn't tell Erica this, but I already told the podcast, but since Erica's down here, I drove by Pat's house this morning when Jeff came to drop off my truck and went and got it washed. I drove by because I was going to say hi to my best friend. And it looked like he was having a party at the house, and I wasn't invited, so I just kept on driving by.
There was no party.
Again.
Did you have more than 3 cars there?
I did. I got a new car.
Just like.
To be fair, that car was all the way against the garage.
I don't know. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought it was the Thunderbird guy.
What the fuck is a Thunderhawk?
I forgot what we were calling Tony on the show. But he did the story about the caw. You remember that?
The T-Bird, yeah.
Yeah, the T-Bird. I thought maybe it was T-Bird.
Oh. So, do you know what he drives?
Something very similar to that. It's a gray Hyundai.
Turns out,
it's the same fucking car.
He shoots me a text message, and because he said, "Can I borrow your Fire Stick?" And I'll drop off my Roku because he wanted to watch a fight this weekend on Beast. So he sends me a text message that says, buying the same car as me doesn't make you as cool as me. And I went, oh, man, we have the same fucking car. Last I knew, Tony was in a Kia. I knew that he had switched cars. I didn't know that he switched to Hyundai from Kia.
I remember that. Side note, since we're talking about fighting, how about my boy Pat McAfee getting a full-time gig at SmackDown?
Pretty cool. Have you seen Mike Tyson is on AEW?
No, I did not.
Knocking people out left and right.
He's wrestling in AEW?
He's involved. He's not in matches.
I was going to say, he shouldn't be on a microphone. Because he sounds like this.
He's great on a microphone, Tyson.
So I watched some of SmackDown on Friday.
Yeah.
Thought it was pretty good.
Oh, he already started?
Yeah, he started Friday.
At the end of the month.
No, he started Friday night. So I know that you don't follow Pat McAfee.
What's he doing? Is he doing color or is he doing like what?
Whatever opposite Michael Cole is.
Okay, so who was talking about the match itself?
Cole.
Okay, so that's color commentary. He's bringing the audience through the match. The other guy, I'm sorry, that's play-by-play. Play-by-play. And the other guy does the color commentary. So McAfee's doing the color commentary, adding to the story.
Yes.
He's that's going to pay off next week when, this other thing that's going on. Yeah.
So, so I thought he was going back to the NFL because he posted earlier in the week him kicking field goals from like far left side of the field. Yeah. And then it started this thing, Pat's up to something. Yeah. What's he up to? You know what I mean? And I'm like, he's gonna sign with like the fucking Bucks or something. You know what I mean? And then it dropped Friday morning that he was gonna be on Smack. That he got signed to and they did a whole thing with Vince McMahon that went through and said, "You're hired, Pat McAfee," or some shit like that. It was pretty good.
Okay.
So it's exciting. I'll probably start. I don't know how much because I play pool on Friday nights, but
right.
I mean,
you can with Hulu. You can watch it next day always.
Yeah.
So that's still the way ratings work now. I want to say it's 3 days. So like when something airs live, technically you do have a rating, but that rating's not complete for 2 or 3 more days because so many people watch TV the second day without commercials. Yeah. That they actually count that now.
That makes sense.
It's not like, you would be counting against, it would still help Pat McAfee if you watched it.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for him and his new endeavor.
It's pretty cool.
So like I said, we don't have any mail, Pat. You want to just keep it moving?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, we have a few articles that we haven't gotten into from the last several episodes. Did you see I emailed several
a couple
memes?
Yes, I have those ready to go. Pat, you want to talk about those
first? Let's do it.
All right, let's talk. Let's start with this one.
I just want you to get a sentence out.
This one, I'm getting it up. Don't tell me it's different because it isn't. Discrimination is discrimination.
So they are comparing these two pictures. The memer is posting out, again, that message was, don't tell me it's different because it isn't. Discrimination is discrimination. The two pictures, the one on the right, an old-timey photo from, let's say, the 40s, 50s. Let's say Jim Crow era. Says, we cater to white trade only. It is a sign in what looks like maybe a restaurant or a malt shop of some sort that says, we only serve white people. That, just to be clear, is in fact discrimination. You're discriminating against black people or anybody who's not white. The other sign says, free coffee for anyone vaccinated. That is not discrimination. Are they fucking kidding? How the fuck is that discrimination? You're quiet on this one.
You're discriminating against people that don't have their vaccine.
You're discriminating against people who are making a conscious decision. Skin color is not a conscious decision. That people who go to that malt shop don't get a choice of, can I change something about myself to go have a malt? This vaccination one, they're saying free coffee to people who, for whatever reason, whether it's buy into the media or buy into the government or just think that this is the safest option. People who have an opinion one way or the other, they can go there. These people, the owners of this establishment, feel it clearly are probably on the liberal side. And they probably feel unsafe having unvaccinated people. Like, hey, listen, in our coffee shop, you don't even have to fucking wear a mask because we're all vaccinated here. So, I mean, that's a conscious decision that this restaurant has made. But they're not discriminating against. What group of people are they discriminating against?
The non-vaccinators.
But that's a choice that those people make.
You, bro. I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's not like they're saying you have to wear an armband in if you want to fucking drink coffee. They're not Jews.
I'm gonna leave it at this. I would not buy coffee at that coffee shop if they had that sign out front.
No.
It's not going to bother me one way or another.
No, who gives a fuck? I get it. That's your feeling is that everybody should get vaccinated. To prove that, you're giving free coffee to those who get vaccinated. You're encouraging them to join you in your belief. That's completely different than saying, join us if your skin color is not tan or darker. It's a huge difference, man. The kicker is that this person thinks that it's the same thing. That's what gets me.
I don't agree that they're the same thing. But there is a line, right, where you're like you said, the Jews and armband and all that stuff. They're persuading people to think a certain way. Like, you need to get vaccinated. Like, they're helping the cause of getting vaccinated. Where like you can, I'm trying to think of this the right way.
You should be less black.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, these two examples are not.
You can drink coffee here if you convert. Like, that's a vast difference, man.
Or like if it said free coffee for Jews on there.
Yeah, right. That's discrimination.
Well, but you have the choice to be Jewish. You can be Jewish.
Well, no, you feel like you have the choice to be Jewish. Ask a practicing Jew if there's a second option for them. There's not. Ask a priest.
I'm understanding.
Go to a priest and say, hey, can you just be Jewish tomorrow if you want to?
That's a rabbi.
Correct.
Oh.
A priest would say, no, this is my path.
Yeah, but that's what they believe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's their religion.
Yeah, but that's something you can change. You can change your religion.
You could. It would take more than a coffee.
I
assume. I don't know that for sure. Maybe there's some... If there are any priests out there willing to convert for some coffee, 1, you probably have an addiction. 2, you probably shouldn't be a priest.
But you get what I'm saying? Like there is a line there. I don't think their two examples here are accurate at all. But I see their point. I see your point.
Here's the thing.
It's not going to affect me either way. So.
We have.
Let's put it this way: if it said free coffee for whites only, then I would not buy coffee there.
Right.
You know,
we have science that supports this is a safe vaccine. Right. 6 out of 7 million women between the ages of 34 and 18.
As long as you're not getting the Johnson & Johnson.
That's actually what I'm talking about. 6 women out of
I can't believe they stopped it over 6 fucking.
Correct. So that's how fucking seriously they're taking this. So people are like, oh, there's no science. No, there is, because when 6 out of millions had an adverse side effect, they were like, cut it off now. Right? So they are taking this very, very seriously. So if you choose not to get vaccinated, more power to you. You know, who gives a fuck? If that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. But the same people who are like, I'm not getting vaccinated because I don't know what they put in the vaccine. What do they put in a Whopper? Please tell me. What chemicals are being...
100% pure beef.
That is 100% pure ass. If you think that there is not something in the bread in a Whopper, pesticides on the vegetables on a Whopper, other ingredients in the ketchup other than tomato, and mayonnaise other than egg and fat. You know, there's tons of things. If you can't name them, then don't ask.
I'm with you, bro.
It's great. And so I'm fine with it. I'm also fine with you dieting and not eating Whoppers because you don't know what's in them. I get that.
Because you're a sucker.
Because you're a sucker. Whopper Wednesday. It's the greatest deal in town.
I'm all done, bro.
Are you? That was the vacation was your tipping point? Was it the picture of yourself on the slide?
No, that was rough too, but really what it was...
It looks like you swallowed a beach ball.
You know what Erica said? Fucking bitch. She said, I look like Uncle Fester.
Oh my God, you're not tall enough, but I get it. Oh.
It's fucked up.
Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to fester done, bro. For a while.
You really know what it was? When I went to go ride that ride with Colin, and they couldn't get the green light to go on the chair.
I don't get it. What's the weight limit?
It's not a weight limit. It's does the thing fit you or not?
You were too big.
Yeah, like between either my shoulders or my stomach, something in my
so you're not sure which one of those it was.
Something in this upper.
You think there's a big shoulder limit on this ride?
Well, because it has to. Well, because look, it has to come up over your shoulders. I don't think. Obviously, I could stand to lose some weight, and this is the pushing. Because I've never been told I couldn't ride a ride because I was too big.
That is a tough pill to swallow.
It really is. So luckily for me, the one ride I really wanted to ride, because we rode it when I was a kid, is the Hulk coaster. I was able to ride that with my dad again.
And of course, you smashed the seat.
No, they have
Hulk.
So look, luckily there's a nice gentleman there. He didn't seem that big, but he clearly. So there's two. It comes down over your shoulders. It locks in, and then there's two straps like a seatbelt that lock in.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I tried, the seat belts weren't long enough. And I was like, well, can't ride this one. That
what a depressing fucking vacation.
Yeah, I was super. I'm like, I'm not coming back to Universal. Nope. But I have to say this about Universal.
They're discriminating against fat people.
Yeah, bastards. At least they put the seats out front for you to try before you stand in line for an hour and find out that that's not going to fit in the fucking
That's because Disney fans, like when I picture a Disney fan, you are not big enough to be a Disney fan yet. When I picture Disney fans, the Disney fans are wearing NASCAR shirts to Disney. When I picture them, they're one and the same.
Disney, however, I don't think there's a size restriction on any of their rides, but they're also not intense rides.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they make it work.
Oh, these are all Universal Studios, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I go get in line for this one. I get up out of the chair. I'm about to cry. And a guy comes up and goes, hey, bud, you sat in the wrong chair. You got to sit in the one on the right. It has extended seat belts for people like us. And I'm like, really? So I go over and I sit. Erica comes over. She fucking stands on it and gets the things to
oh my God.
snap it. And I'm like, good. So me and my father, the last day we were at Universal, rode that together. I actually have a picture of that, me pointing, because when we were kids, phobic, but not ride. He was scared of the ride, right? So, and I think since then they've actually changed the ride. Yep. I think they redid the roller coaster because the whole thing is different.
I don't assume it's been at least touched up over the last 20 years.
Well, me and my father are convinced that it was like one of those ones where your feet dangle.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now you're sitting in a seat. And the track, you're on top of the track instead of
so maybe it's a whole new Hulk.
Yeah, I think it's a whole new ride. But so yeah, I have a picture of us pointing at the empty seat for Tim, like where you at.
Nice.
So it was pretty good.
That's good.
I don't know how the fuck we got on that subject there.
I don't know. I know that it was worth talking about.
We were talking about Whoppers and me being all done.
Oh, yeah.
So now I have a goal. I want to go back to Disney next year.
Okay.
And I want to be able to ride whatever I want to ride. So.
Well, you guys are like Disney addicts at this point, huh?
No, but so Eric and I have always been theme park people. Like we enjoy going. Like when we go around.
I hate people like you.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's a huge waste of money to me.
You don't enjoy rides?
No, and Emily is wholeheartedly with you. Let me tell you. We're going to Virginia at the end of the month, and she's like, "Can we stop at Busch Gardens?" I'm like,
you should definitely go to Busch Gardens. It's great.
I know. I went there a million times as a kid, but I feel like those things, like fireworks, right? Those things are designed for children, and somehow adults love them, like toy trains or tits. You know, like they're designed for children, but adults just love them. Now, tits, I'm on board with. I am, but like, I don't want toy trains. I don't want to go spend a day at an amusement park. Especially, like, you have a kid, and a kid is like an all-exclusive fucking free pass to be a child. Because you can share his spirit, or, you know, just, like, cheat and pretend like you're sharing his spirit just to make his day better. You know what I mean? Or you can be like, I'm going to bring this kid with me because I really want to go, and I need to use his spirit, like, as an excuse.
Why
like he's your ghetto pass.
Why just go to it?
I'm just saying. That it does nothing for me. The rides are fun, I guess. Like, I like the way my body feels, like when my stomach flips upside down on a roller coaster. But people, you know, like the screamers, like they start screaming when the ride's like activates and they don't stop until it stops. I'm like, how was that the fun part of the ride for you?
So look, if you guys go,
you gotta hold your hands up and scream like an asshole. You don't.
If you guys go to Busch Gardens, you have to ride this ride. I think it's fairly new, so it probably wasn't there last time you went. Okay. It's called the Griffin.
It was not there.
Okay. So this ride, Now, this is a true story. I rode this with our boy Griff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Griff on the Griffin.
Yes. So we go up, and it's like 10 people wide, 3 deep. Right?
Okay.
So it fits a decent amount of people on it.
30 by my math.
Yes. And you go up, and you climb this big hill, and you get up to the top.
Yeah.
And then it starts to tip forward, and it stops you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Griff didn't know this.
So he thinks it broke.
Yes, we get up there, and it stops, and he goes, no fucking way. So at first I'm thinking he's thinking about the drop.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it just releases you and you start going. It's fucking sick ride.
Yeah.
And I just start fucking dying. I'm laughing the whole time through. And we get off and he goes, I thought the fucking ride broke. And I was like, dude, you thought the ride broke? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I thought you were talking about the drop. He goes, no, fuck the drop, dude. He goes, I thought the ride broke up there. Me and him rode that about 5 times that day.
I think people really forget how safe these fucking rides are.
Well, so I will say this for Colin. So Colin, not a big ride kid.
Okay.
I was actually worried about taking him to Disney and Universal because of that.
Right.
Because why spend all this money if he's not going to ride anything? And I had that discussion with him, like, I'm going to take you, and you're going to fucking push the envelope and ride some rides that you're not comfortable with because look, we're spending all this money.
Right. I'm going to charge you $500 for every ride you refuse to ride.
He, luckily, a lot of them have turned into virtual rides where you're strapped into a cart or something like that, and you can't see what's going on outside. And I think that makes it, because it's more like a video game than anything.
Sure.
So that makes him feel comfortable. So he rode a lot of the rides. The Hulk coaster, he would not get on. He told me and my father that he would have rode it the day before, but the day of, nah, I'm all set. And then me and my father went and got online, backed out. We went and had dinner after that. And he was like, I'll ride it now. And I'm like, after we just ate, you want to fucking puke everywhere?
You shouldn't have said a word. You should have let him do it.
I didn't want to ride it because I was afraid I was going to puke everywhere.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster where somebody did puke?
No.
I have seen videos of it. I've never been a part of it.
Oof.
It looks hilarious. My brother was on one where somebody spit at the top of a loop and somebody else got blasted in the face at the bottom of the loop. And I thought that was just fucking classic.
That's disgusting. I was on, I believe it was a Superman at Six Flags. As we were coming down the big hill, somebody was trying to videotape it like an asshole and lost their phone, and it came fucking flying back. Luckily, it didn't hit anybody, but if it would have hit somebody,
it would have really hurt.
It probably would have fucking knocked them out.
Yeah, or at least busted them good.
Yeah, I would have been fucking super pissed if it was
that. Would have been awesome.
But good for that asshole. They lost their phone. Here's so that picture you got of me doing the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So at the water park, you get we'll call it a watch, right?
Yeah.
It's like a watch, and that's how you sign up for rides that have long waits.
Okay.
You go over and you touch it. Now you can only do one at a time, but you hold up this kiosk, and it gives you a time to come back. So in 30 minutes, come back.
Yeah.
And you'll still have to wait in a line, but at least you're not waiting there for an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how they keep the lines down on the rides. So I go and I ride this fucking thing, and I shoot out, get out. We're all laughing because I did the thumbs up thing or whatever, and we're walking away. And sure as shit, I'm like, motherfucker, I lost my fucking, what the fuck they call it? Tojo, some fucking, they had a name
call it
for
a watch for now.
Yeah, watch. I'm like, fuck. So I go back to the lifeguard. I'm like, no, it's at the bottom of this 10-foot pool.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, what do I do if I lose my thing? He's like, oh, this happens all the time. Now, I knew this happened all the time because when I was riding the Rapid River, you look up and there's a net to catch shit, and there's like 3 or 4 of them up there.
Yeah.
So it happens all day.
Yeah.
So luckily, you just go and get a new one.
Okay. Because you couldn't have just dove down and grabbed it?
They didn't want me to go back in the pool.
Oh, okay.
To go get it. I mean, people are coming down the fucking water slides.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's nothing, like, you can link a credit card to it to pay for it, to pay for stuff, but you got to use a 4-digit PIN. Luckily, I didn't have anything attached to it like that, so it didn't matter. Another ride we rode, I have a picture of this too, but it's not a great picture because they superimpose a tube into the picture. Yeah. So it's not fun. But it's one of those clamshell water slides. You know what I mean? Where you come out and then you go up a clamshell and you come back down. Yeah. So my dad and Colin went and rode it first thing when we got to the park. And they loved it. And they come running back over like, hey, there's no wait. Let's go. And it's like, you got to go up like 10 flights of stairs to get to the top of this fucking thing. True. So me, my mom, Colin, and my dad go. my mom and dad go together. Now you can fit up to 5 people in a raft, but it all depends on weight, right?
Yeah.
So the 4 of us were going to be too heavy. So my dad and mom go, me and Colin go. It's great. Great time. We get down to the bottom, and I'm like, you guys want to ride this again? My mom's like, I'm not climbing those fucking stairs again, but you guys can go. So me, my dad, and Colin go up.
Yeah.
We got on scale. We're good to go. Right? We hop in the tube. We go down this fucking clamshell, dude. All right? We went so high up in, I could have reached my hand up and touched the sprayers that spray the fucking tube.
Nice.
That's how much of momentum we were fucking pushing out of this thing. And we come down, and we land in a pool or whatever, and my dad's like, I was actually fucking scared that time. Like, I was nervous that we were fucking coming up. I'm like, if we put another 10 pounds on that thing, we were shooting off the top of the fucking rat.
That's fucking great.
We would have ended up in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Anyway, I keep going off track with this. We're already
That's okay. Hey, man, Disney's a big deal.
Anyway, you want to talk? We're still on the same screen, too. So.
We are. Flip to the next screen.
Uncle Joe.
That's not what's next for you. What's next for you?
That's the one that you sent me. This is the Instagram
I sent this one like a week ago.
Oh, I didn't. I don't have that one. Which one is that? I have this one. It says Biden administration offers 4-month paid leave to federal employees who care for illegal alien children.
Yeah, I don't know where you put them.
I don't think you sent it to me in an email.
I did.
If you did, it would be in podcast outgoing.
You like to hide the emails for some reason.
I just put them all in podcast outgoing. Unless it's feedback, then it goes into feedback. But those are all news articles. I looked at them this morning. You want to just read what that one says?
Yeah, sure. I made reference to this in last week's intro. Biden administration considers restarting border wall construction to plug gaps amid Biden's border crisis. The sweet, sweet hypocrisy. So they're going to continue to build the wall to keep people out. Because there's too many people coming in. It's almost like...
It's a real mess down there.
It's almost like they're trying to solve a problem that was in the middle of being solved. And then they said, don't solve the problem. We'll fix it when we get there. The exact same way you were going to before we got there. This goes hand in hand with all the other things where we keep saying, like, there's already a solution to that problem, don't come up with a new solution. Well, they didn't. They came up with the same solution that they voted off the island.
Yeah.
I like it. Kudos to you, Joe.
Yeah, this, I really try not to get too political what we say. Like, I think that we talk more about, like, shit going on that doesn't make any sense.
I have nothing bad to say about Joe Biden. This is, the dude said the wall's racist and everything else, and now they're like, we should build the wall. There's a real problem. Well, why is it not racist anymore?
Well, that's like
is the problem changed?
Like, that's my problem with it, right? Is that they invited all essentially by his like if you watched his campaign in the beginning, he was like, everybody should be able to have a chance to live here, and I'm not disagreeing with that. Like, we are a nation of immigrants,
right? If
they come in legally, like
there was even. I don't know what president. I want to say it was Bush Sr. It might have been Obama. But somebody wanted to make it so that if you were already here, boom, you're legal. All you got to do is turn yourself in.
Well, I think that's something similar to what Biden wants to. It might have been Obama.
The other part of that was, once we've done that, you may also bring your family. But we are going to take this very, very seriously. We are not letting people in illegally any further. So, it never happened, obviously.
Well, because when you say family, where do you stop? Is it your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, your kids?
I would assume that there were guidelines drawn, and I would guess immediate family. Mother, father, child, husband, wife, you know? I don't think you could have invited
so, like, if it were me, I could bring
Erica. Pen pal.
Well, so, like, if it were me, right, I could bring Erica and Colin.
Yeah.
And that's it. Not my parents or my brother or my sister.
I don't think you should be able to bring your parents if you're in that situation because they can take care of themselves. So they don't need you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if your parents were elderly, I think, yes, absolutely. You should be able to bring your parents.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Like I said, I think everybody should come in legally. I think if you're here illegally, you should go back and start the actual process and do it the right way. That's how I feel about it. But to each his own, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter. Nothing I say or how I feel is going to change what's actually going on. They're going to come in illegally and they're going to be able to.
No, but I think it's important, like, because even you just said, like, you don't want to seem too political. I don't think that we're being political. I'm not saying Democrats are stupid or Republicans are stupid or anything like that. I'm saying Joe Biden, the man, said what he's doing is wrong, and then got put in the same exact position and went, I'm going to do what he was doing that I already told you guys was wrong.
Yeah.
That's a lack of integrity. It's a lack of moral fiber. Don't fucking do that. Especially when you're the leader of the free world. You can do anything you want in that position. Come up with a better idea if it was wrong. Or admit that you were wrong.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Hey, fucked up, man. Happens. I'm sure all you fuck up.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. What else you got there? I see a letter. I don't have that either.
Did we not cover this before?
What is it?
So this is a letter to a Christopher and Jamie Walters. This is how the letter reads. This is, oof. Let's see if I can get through this. I'm going to get all choked up. Watch. Dear Christopher and Jamie, enclosed you will find the check that you mailed us regarding the account of Christopher. It is the policy of Raymond's Harley-Davidson to wage storage fees for our active duty service members who are deployed. It's our honor to keep you and your bike safe and secure while you're providing us with your freedoms. We hope that you return to us safe and sound. Until that time, your bike will be stored at no additional charge. This is our way of saying thank you for your service and community. What the fuck? These awesome. People doing it right.
Yeah.
So fucking badass.
I remember reading that.
Yeah. Good for them, man.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's a little feel-good Sunday story for you.
Yes, it is. I don't think I sent you this one. Now, this is, I think this is open to interpretation, but I can tell you how I'm interpreting it. There is, on the wall of this building, there is a graffiti that says, protect your daughters. Right? And then there is an old woman who has clearly spray painted a red line through protect your daughters, and it just says, educate your sons. And I think there are two ways we can look at this.
Phobic says, I don't feel so good, Mr. Washington.
What don't you feel good about, Phobic?
You didn't like that story?
Did you not like the Harley-Davidson free storage story?
Oh, it was a good story.
How the fuck have you been so quiet? You're still on?
He's always watching. You know who's not in today? Fucking asshole Mason.
Mason and Carissa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reminded them last night that we were going live at 1 today.
Did they say they were going to be on?
You don't feel good about the Harley Davidson story? Oh, you're
Talk
crazy,
to your brother.
bro.
I'm gonna find out what's up with them.
Also, it's a reference to Endgame. The Harley Davidson story is? Or the meme that Pat read?
Well, in the meantime, I like this because on the one side, right, this is, it's not the responsibility of a parent to protect their daughter from a criminal son, right? I should not, if I have a daughter, I should not have to worry about her safety when she goes out with some boy. So they're right. You should cross out to protect your daughters, educate your sons. This is not how you treat women. Right?
I agree with that.
You should be educated. The problem isn't the daughters being unprotected. The problem is the sons being uneducated.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. The flip side of this, and when I looked at it, the way I initially perceived it was educate your sons about false accusations. Because everybody cries, protect, protect, protect. Sometimes we don't need fucking protection because that son was educated and he wasn't fucking doing anything wrong. Or they agreed to do something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I really, really liked this little cartoon. It was like, yep, going to send that to Tommy.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that it's an old woman. You know, like, no. Like, your parents are teaching you wrong.
Yes.
The older generation didn't have this type of problem. Now, I don't agree with that.
No.
But I do think that's what that's supposed to represent.
Yeah, the older generation had this problem.
Yeah, the older generation suffered through this silently, which is not okay.
Yes. What else you got on there, Pat?
You know what? On the other side of that, the older generation didn't have the problem of all the false accusations. So maybe I'm onto something there.
Well,
Mason said he's sorry he's not on. His in-laws are over. I don't understand why he doesn't just make them number 9ers, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he knew about this yesterday.
They're not there to see you, Mason. They're there to see your fucking baby.
Yeah,
you and Carissa could go upstairs and be on the podcast, and they wouldn't give a shit.
Pat, I hate to put Mason on blast like this, but his dedication to the podcast has really come through. That he's not as dedicated.
Because of this episode that he's missed?
This episode that he missed?
I feel like this is about your video games.
He didn't stream on Wednesday like he was supposed to. He pushed off. He didn't stream on Monday like he was supposed to. He didn't stream on Sunday like he was supposed to. He barely did a full stream yesterday. It's all right, Mason. You know, it is what it is. Some of us are more dedicated than others.
Tom, there are some stories that
Fuck you, Mason. That's one.
Ooh, that's one. There are some stories that we are not going to cover just yet. We're going to probably wait till Wednesday. I'm sure you saw there were 8 FedEx workers killed.
Yes, I saw that. So listen, there's been a lot going on in the news, and I got to tell you, I'm not like I saw that the FedEx workers.
You don't miss it at all.
Yeah, like I wasn't watching the fucking news or paying attention to what was going on. I saw that there was another shooting by a cop that accidentally shot her gun instead of a taser and killed somebody.
Hold on.
Very tragic.
Rewind. Because please follow me on this journey. You ever walk into your kitchen or like living room, a room that has a light switch at one doorway and a light switch at the other doorway, and you never know which way turns things on or off, and it's all fucking confusing? Is that this woman's legal defense now? She's like, I pulled my gun instead of my taser. And then she's like, allow me to demonstrate. Have you ever had 2 switches in the same room?
Is that what she said?
No, but like, what else is she going to say? How do you accidentally pull your fucking gun and pull your fucking trigger? And then you're like, well, that made a different kind of bang than I was expecting. No shit, you fucking moron.
Well, I don't know, man. I could see how. I don't know, man. I'm not a fucking cop, right? I don't carry a gun and a taser, right? But I could see how, because if you've seen a taser that they carry, they look.
Yeah, it looks like a pistol.
Very similar to a pistol.
Sure.
So I can see how she could have accidentally pulled the wrong one. I can see how she could have accidentally fired the wrong one. I believe it's an accident. I really don't think. I think if she wouldn't have come out so quickly and said, I meant to shoot my taser, if that's not really what she meant to do. I'm sure she feels fucking horrible about it. She has.
I'm sure she does too. I don't mean to say that this is like a bad human being. I'm not even saying like, oh, she was being racist. I'm just saying this is the worst defense I've ever seen in my life.
And it's a horrible, like, unfortunately, right? Accidents fucking happen. You know what I mean? And I think that in some regards, she has to be held accountable. But to what level, right? Because at the same time, the person that she shot put himself, or their, like, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they put themselves in a situation to have a police officer pull out a taser or a gun and shoot at them. You know what I mean?
Now, have you seen the footage?
No,
I got to tell you, before she said that, before that came out, that part of it, I will say I saw a very like a picture, not even a video. It was a video, but I caught the very ass end of it, and it looked like Tapu Tapu was the name of your watch.
Yes.
Thank you, Erica. It looked like this kid was unarmed. It looked like it was not a threat. It looked like they were actually moving away from the police officer. Now, I also could have seen after they were shot. I have no clue what I was looking at. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's a bad one. And then, like, a couple hours later, I heard it was accidentally supposed to be the taser. And I was like, oh, that's way worse. Like, Jesus.
So I heard all that. Again, I haven't researched much into what happened because I was on vacation. And really, I don't want to be brought down by that kind of shit when I'm on vacation.
Right.
I will say this. I saw this story last night when I was coming home, that there was a man from Bridgeport, Connecticut, got pulled over in Brooklyn, New York. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday or Saturday or Friday. Gets pulled over. Now they have the body cam footage of the police officer. Luckily,
yeah.
Walks up to him, No, I didn't hear the audio, so I don't know what the altercation was or whatever. But at some point, the driver opens the door, throws something of some kind of solution at the officer.
Okay.
So no idea what it is, and then drives off. Right.
Yeah.
And the police officer obviously bobs and weaves away because he doesn't know what the fuck.
Sure. That could be fucking whatever.
So
water with anthrax in it.
Yeah. So they start a police chase.
Yeah.
They get him pulled over again. Now he starts throwing Molotov cocktails at him.
Holy shit!
Lit at the police cruisers.
I wonder if whatever he threw at him first
was the
flammable.
fluid. Yeah, the fluid that he was trying to use these cocktails with. Starts throwing him at the police cruiser, and eventually he crashes the vehicle.
Did he die?
I don't believe so. But
he's gonna wish he did.
Well, because I gotta tell you, the first thing that I see when I'm watching this video is I'm not looking at the person's race or anything like that. The first thing I think of is I would have shot him
when he opened and started throwing things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a different climate. I think that there is the rule where cops aren't allowed to shoot if there's not like deadly intent from the suspect. In this particular case, who determines deadly? It's on Casino. You remember Casino with the Robert De Niro movie? The dude had a hoagie in his pocket. And it was in tinfoil, and he pulled the sandwich out of his pocket, and he got killed by the cops. And they were like, "Well, how the cops were supposed to know that he was eating a hero sandwich?"
Yeah,
I think we have graduated more to
wait until they fire a bullet at you before you fire back.
Right, we're putting more and more and more and more onto these cops who, again, I know that it often comes off as me being a police hater. I'm not a police hater. I hate the amount of responsibility that we give to a human being and then say, why aren't you executing all of these things? Why aren't you a therapist and a shooter and a decision maker and a counselor? They can't do all of these things. So now on top of that, we have to go, well, what's deadly intent? Because you can no longer say that guy has a knife or a gun, that's deadly intent. Well, that guy had a bottle of liquid. As far as I'm concerned, that's deadly intent. I don't know what's in that bottle. That's deadly intent. And if he shot the guy, it would have come out that it was deadly intent. It was, this guy's got Molotov cocktails.
Well, would it have, though? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. And it didn't. It didn't come out that way because the cop didn't pull his trigger because he knew what the fuck was going to happen if he pulled it. He would have gone to jail or been arrested for making a decision on the fly.
So to protect him.
Protect himself, possibly 6 other people who could have been murdered that night by this guy. He doesn't know what that guy's doing next.
Yeah.
But this is the impossible position we're constantly putting our police officers in. And then we expect perfection.
It's a rough world, man. It really, and like I said, like, who the fuck would want to be a police officer? You know what I mean?
It's
At
true.
this point. Who the fuck would want to do that?
When I was younger, call it a teenager, I used to think the only way to be a cop is to be a dirty cop. That's the only way you could pull it off.
You couldn't. You message Mason, all of a sudden he gets on.
Oh, nice.
Cocktails. That's 2 of Pat's favorite things.
Very nice, Mason. I'm sure your in-laws are missing you greatly. They don't give a fuck about you. They're watching the baby play.
Fuck you, Mason.
That's 2. You missed the first one, bitch. I used to think if I ever became a police officer, the only way to do it straight would be to play dirty. You have to break the law to obtain the law. And now I think, well, then there's got to be a better alternative. Like, in my head, as a teenager, that was fine. That's not the right answer, obviously. No. We cannot continue to allow these police officers to be put in a situation where they have to choose to break the rules. Because, again, what's the fucking rule on deadly intent here? Why did this officer not shoot that guy? Because he was afraid of what was going to happen. So he should have died instead?
Yeah, it's...
What if that... everybody talks about the... if there's 10 bad cops out of 1,000, why don't the other 990 turn him in? Well, what if that was one of the good ones? And he died because he was thinking about the other 10.
Yeah.
So, really shitty situation.
Like, this is the way I look at it. It's kind of a fucked up way to look at it, but at the same time, I'm a rule follower, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I like black and white.
Yeah. With the exception of maybe exceeding the speed limit in my vehicle.
Yeah, but not to a crazy degree. Again, right? So here's where our discretion comes in. I'm going to break the speed limit, but never to a point where I feel unsafe or I feel like I'm putting anybody else in jeopardy.
Danger. Yeah. With that aside, right, and if I get pulled over, I'm going to take the ticket like a man. Like,
yeah.
I know that I was breaking the law.
Yeah.
Okay. People put themselves in these situations, and it doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
Right. You put yourselves in these situations by resisting arrest or fleeing from the police or whatever it is that you're doing. And then people get all up in arms because the police officer did what they felt was necessary. And listen, don't get me wrong. There are bad cops that make decisions poorly. Right?
Absolutely. I would even go as far as to say there are good cops who make terrible decisions in the field out of fear or out of ignorance or out of whatever.
Yeah.
Out of past experience.
Yeah.
It's still a bad decision, still a good person. But
at the end of the day, the person that was harmed in it put themselves in that situation. And that's really what I like. We can go back to the George Floyd thing, right? What happened to George Floyd is horrible and should have never happened.
Right.
At the same time, he was like that's probably not a great example because he was resisting arrest and the officer literally used excessive force for no reason. He was already on the ground.
But if your argument was he passed a bad 20, so that's why he was dealing with the cops to begin with, it's still not punishable by death.
No, I agree with you.
I think you could pass as many bad 20s as you want, and you'll never get the death sentence. They're not like, all right, well, we can't stop you, so we're going to kill you.
Yes, I agree with that, right? Yeah. And it's not like the cop shot him. He used excessive force because he was supposedly resisting arrest. And I think in that case, yes, the officer should be charged with murder, right? That to me is black and white, what happened with George Floyd. But all these other situations, like the officer that accidentally shot the gun instead of her taser. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't know the whole story, but I know that she made a mistake.
Right, so that accidents happen, and had you not been in the one in that situation, the accident would not have happened to you.
Yes, exactly.
That's a heavy one, man. I really think, especially if this police officer legitimately made a mistake, and I think it would be tough to lie your way through that. I think you could initially get away with saying it was a mistake, and some people would calm down. But I do think as time goes on, we'll find out whether or not it was really a mistake. And I think that the police will be able to say she's telling the truth or she's lying. Erica just said the police are there to do their job. People don't listen to the police because they think they know. Yeah, I mean, you can go on YouTube and just watch like traffic stops of dudes who are just very, 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 very well versed in traffic law get pulled over. You know, the cops like license and registration, and they just roll their window up.
Yeah.
And the cops like, please give me your license and registration. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah, like for what?
Fuck you's not against the law, pig. Yeah, pig's not against the law, fucker. And yeah, they just kind of egg them on. The policies do better than they do. The policy's job.
Because people listen to the police because they think they know the police's job better than they do.
Yeah. She said, I wouldn't tell the mechanic that I can do their job better. No. And I mean, to be fair, I should say America, or at least certain sections of us, respect mechanics more because of the grease on their hands. You know, he works a long, hard day where you see a police officer and you go, well, you know, that's just a criminal with a badge.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like we have these opinions of certain job titles. You see a construction worker, you're sure as shit not going to disrespect them because you're like, wow, that motherfucker works hard for a living.
Yeah.
So I get your point. I do think that cops invariably get the raw end of that deal. Don't get me wrong. There are also handfuls of Americans who look at cops as gods among men because of what they do. Yeah. So they definitely have both sets of fans.
So this leads us into this, right? I'm on the flight yesterday. And
yes,
or I'm getting ready in the flight. And
do we know who these people are?
I do. I block their names out because they don't have to be involved in this. Okay. So I know the girl. I don't know who this guy is. This Mac app political guy,
the original poster,
or good politic guy. But she reposted this. The girl that I know, and it says conservatives want you to think murder is appropriate response to property damage, but property damage isn't an appropriate response to murder. Which to me is. I've never heard one conservative ever say you should kill somebody for damaging your property.
No. Okay, so let's call a spade a spade. What she's referring to is all the memes and stuff like that say, if the first one will say, like, if you kill somebody for breaking into your home, you value your property more than their life. And then the response from a conservative would be, if somebody breaks into my home where I own guns, they value my property more than they value their life. And you see,
yes, both sides.
They're putting property over life, and it's a fucking meme. Go ahead.
So I just said to her, can I see a conservative quote that says people should be murdered for property damage? When you find one, just reply, I would like to see it in its context, right? Because you can take things out of context.
Or it could have been a fucking meme.
So mind you, me and this girl have had discussions before via Facebook about stuff like this. I believe that me and her have gone back and forth about illegal immigration before and stuff like that. I can have a conversation with her, right? She's
Erica's on you. She's rolling her eyes at you and said, just keep scrolling.
This is what she told. I showed her the meme yesterday and said, should I respond to this? And she said, just keep scrolling down. And I said, I can't.
Here's to this point, this part of the story, because I'm going to let you get through this whole thing. But you cannot use Erica as your sounding board for public perception pieces because you don't listen. So it doesn't, don't ask her opinion because you don't give a fuck what it is. Call your dad, call Phobic Squirrel, and say, hey, man, I'm annoyed at this post. I call Steven, my brother Steven, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to respond with. And he's like, don't respond with anything, dude. Just let it fucking go. I do it all the time. I haven't posted a single thing on Facebook in fucking 3 years. And sometimes I'll come up with 10 pages and just bomb Steven. And he's like, now take a breath and hit delete. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, see, I wanted to. So I sent this to my dad. And he was like, what idiot posted that?
Yeah.
So, because my dad's the same way as me. Is if he sees something that bothers him, he's going to say something. And my outlook on it is, one, I can have a civil conversation and not degrade anybody. Or we're just talking about opinions at this point. You know what I mean? And your view on it. So, and I understand her, exactly what you said, right? With people breaking into your house.
Right.
And if you shoot them, you value your property more than their life. And I'm on the side of, don't break into my fucking house.
Yeah, here's the thing. You don't have to say it on Facebook. I don't know if you did. You even cut me off with what I saw.
Well, anybody can go look at my page on Facebook and see what happened. There is one thing about this that I want to bring up.
If a criminal breaks into my home where I have a loaded weapon to protect my family, not my property, I never would be like, oh, I got this new TV, so of course I bought a 9 as well. That's not how it works, bro.
Yeah.
You carry for human protection. You carry to prevent loss of life, not loss of things.
Yeah.
So if somebody breaks into your home and has the forethought to send you a letter 3 days ahead of time so it gets to you in time, and you open the letter and it says, just so you know, I'm going to break in tonight. You and your family are not in danger. You don't have to worry about the lives of the people who live in your home or the pets that live in your home. I just need a TV because I have a problem and I don't have another way of coming up with the money to resolve this problem. So I'm going to break into your home. I'm going to take your personal property, but everybody will be safe. Then you might not shoot them. You might actually be there waiting for them. Maybe talk to them. Maybe offer them some help.
Yeah.
But certainly not, going to shoot them in the fucking face when they walk in the door because they've very clearly stated their purpose. It's the fear of someone breaking into the sanctity of the safety of your home.
Yeah.
And you not knowing why the fuck they're there. They don't need to come upstairs. As soon as they get through the threshold, it is go time. Mason said, I got that letter to just buy you a TV. I don't want to buy a new door or window. I get that letter to buy.
He's saying that he would just buy him a new TV.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Hey, man, brand new in the box on the front porch. Don't come inside.
Yeah.
Here's $50. You need it more than I do. That is abundantly clear. It's no different with a car, Yeah. If somebody steals your car, I'll bet any amount of money you don't give a shit about the car. It's what's inside the car that matters. Was your license in there, which is, oh my God, what a fucking nightmare. Now I have to go to DMV. Nobody gives a fuck about their car. Insurance covers the car. It's the pictures that your kid drew you in kindergarten that you keep on your dashboard. And you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's no different inside of a home. It's such a stupid fucking point for people to make. We're like, oh, if you're willing to kill somebody for breaking into your home, you care about your property more than their life. No.
I value my life more than theirs.
Yeah. That's really the lives of the people who live at this residence that I'm protecting.
So, no, I didn't get that far. It ended up spiraling off into a couple different things. Like, she said, like when people are protesting, how many times have you heard that people, you should just run them over and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's more like, I don't think people actually want to cause harm to these people. It's more, and I'm like, there are bad eggs out there that would run over people protesting in the streets.
I went to several protests right after the George Floyd thing, and at one of them, I don't think that it was at two of them, but at one of them, multiple times, people drove by and screamed the N-word.
Well, see, so that's just ignorant, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, it's on fucking both sides. Don't make it something it's not. And I wasn't there, like, screaming, fuck the police or kill the police or anything like that. But an injustice was had.
Yeah.
And there was a full community of people who were saying, we don't feel that we have the support of everybody else. And I went, well, it's kind of my obligation to show that you do, in fact, have the full support of everybody else. As long as we're following the law and doing this the right way, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Let's get this out there.
So I pretty much, so she brought up that, and I said, like, I think that's more of annoying. Like, I say that all the time. Like, oh, this guy's riding his bike my way. Get the fuck out of my way before I hit you. Or like when Colin's pissing me off, I said, dude, I'm going to beat you. But I don't really beat him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny how words are words unless the person hearing them doesn't want them to be words anymore. Then they're physical actions.
Well, and then like I said, I dropped the Tom McDonald line on her and said,
yeah. Did you put the rest of it on there?
No, I didn't. I'm just going to explain it because it'll be faster. I told her, hate speech isn't speech that you hate, and people forget that. I'm allowed to voice my opinion or whatever and say what I want to say, as long as I'm not hurting anybody else with what I'm saying by using derogatory terms or something like that, or making fun of people or degrading people. I'm allowed to voice my opinion, which brings me to my next point. So,
for the record, you actually did not to this point even voice an opinion.
No,
she said conservatives value life over property, or property over life. And you said, can you show me a conservative that said that?
Yeah.
There was no opinion stated. There was no insult.
So, and then, like I said, it spiraled into a couple different topics with bicyclists getting run over and stuff like that. And, somebody else posted later on, actions speak louder than words. So me saying I'm going to beat my kid is totally different than me actually saying it and then beating my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I say that shit all the time. You have your own way of parenting or the way that you were parented to go by. I have my own way of doing it. Whatever works for you to get the job done.
Rick, we've all heard the drywall story.
Yeah, he doesn't like that story. So, like, we all have our own way of doing it. But what really fucking got me was this guy I do not know, have never met before in my life, have never seen his name or spoke to him or anything.
I'm guessing that this guy who so vigorously defended this girl that will not be named, I guess, probably wants to finger paint and Polly J. Rottencrotch's panties.
Now listen, this girl is married, so I don't know. But,
so guy, back off.
So this guy...
Mason said, it's funny how conservatives value property over life, but it was the other side that at one time believed lives were property. Huh. Valid point.
It's a good point, Mason. I just want to make... there was something I was going to say to that. I forgot what it was. Doesn't matter.
Homeboy there?
No, it was about that. Or, like, you were saying something, and I don't know. So anyway, so this guy, I don't know. This is after my first thing with her, and then she posted something about the Second Amendment meme, or it was like a placard that you could buy that says basically, if you come into my house, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, it says, if you come into my house, make your peace with God, because you're going to be meeting him soon. Something like that.
Yeah. Not to mention, so this guy, this is all it says. Not to mention every Fox News circuit that calls people protesting a murder it murders thugs and terrorists, but does everything it can to downplay police violence. Every time another kid gets slaughtered by a cop, we go through this merry-go-round to the point that pretending you somehow don't see it is either idiocracy? No, idically?
Or that? Incredulous.
That doesn't have an R.
What?
No, idically. The last word.
Idiotically.
Oh, idiotically. Big word. Ignorant or tragically the other word that Pat said.
Incredulous.
You
know what? Pass me your phone.
You live under a rock, Tommy Boy. Now this guy is making friends with me by calling me Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
No idea who I am. You had your head in the sand for a decade, bucko? Or are you ready to sit at the big kids table? So this fucking floored me, right? Because not once have I insulted a person or anything. I'm making a conversation about something that, like, this is our problem, is that we will not talk about things in a civil manner, and we go right to insulting the other people.
Right.
Right? So I basically fucking told him that. I told him to go fuck himself, and that if you want to, like, don't insult me.
Right.
Right? I didn't say anything. Maybe, just maybe, I'm trying to get your opinion and maybe have you help me decide what side of the line I want to be on.
Which I thought was the perfect response when I read that from you. I was like, he never took a side.
Yeah.
He never said anything that wavered one way or the other. All he said was, I would like evidence that supports your previous statement. And this guy's like, hey, bucko, sit at the big kids table. Good. Are you going to show me evidence when I get there, asshole?
Yeah.
What happens at the big kids table? Do we have adult conversation where we can communicate?
And so I said, who the hell would want to be on your side if that's how you're going to treat other people? So later on, Pat, I had this conversation, and I told her. I took a page off Pat's book, and I said, we need to love thy neighbor. And not in the religious sense, but in the literal sense. Just love everybody. And we can talk and work these things out, because if we're just going to fight about shit, you're never going to have a solution, right? So I agree that people's lives are taken unjustly. That does happen.
But not in the situation she's talking about. If you break into somebody's home,
yes,
you're putting your life in jeopardy.
It's the same thing as resisting arrest or running from the cops or throwing Molotov cocktails at a police officer. All those things are done to protect the other person's life. And every single person on this planet. Here we go.
It's so if an American military unit,
I was just gonna fucking say this,
is invaded by a terrorist threat who's going to no intention of killing the military soldiers. What they want to do is they want to destroy the communications, right? Because that's really, at this point in war, we want to destroy communication. That's a serious danger.
That's the first thing that they're probably going to try.
But the Americans kill the threat. Have they protected the communication? Did they put the communication, have they put their walkie-talkies or their cell phones or their internet over the value of the life of that terrorist?
Absolutely.
Have they? Or have they put all of American freedom over the lives of those terrorists?
Both. And I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I told you,
let's make this a bigger scale, because you're saying that on a small scale, we're considering this person's life less than. We're not. It's a very Dr. Dre, it's either my life or your life, and I'm not leaving. So you get to pick. You could just not break into my home.
Yeah.
I think, and I mean this wholeheartedly, you should not slide into that guy's DMs, whatever that guy's name is. You should very publicly say, by the way, bucko, or maybe not bucko. You should say, hey, by the way, I am the namesake of a show called the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. And I was talking to the host who has agreed to moderate a debate on any topic you like, this one included. And we can have this conversation like grown adults. We'll call the debate, we'll call the segment on the show, the Big Boy Table. And we'll see if this guy wants to have a conversation or if he wants to sit behind a keyboard and just type shit.
I'm with it, man.
We can do it at my house. I'm happy to.
I'm all about it, man. I mean,
he tries to steal from us, though.
I got weapons. Yeah, man. It's like, but that's one of my biggest problems, right? Is like I really try not to insult other people with my views.
No, that's my point. I don't think it should be an insult. I think it should be an intelligent conversation. We have, military members, we have nurses, we have all these great guests on our show. Let's have another one. Let's have somebody who feels very strongly the opposite of the general temperature of the show. Let's get in that water with him. Maybe he'll teach us something. Maybe we'll teach him something. Maybe we can agree that we disagree. Shoot him a message on Facebook so everybody can see it and say, "Hey, man, I'm really upset about the way things went. I feel
maybe I'll shoot it from
handled that better.
Maybe I'll shoot it from the number 9 with Tommy podcast page." But anyway,
Mason said, "I've decided that I will now just quote Tom McDonald as an argument for everything."
There were so many. There were so many things that I wanted to drop in there that Tom McDonald has said.
Yeah.
Through any one of his songs, that and really the only one I got out is hate speech. Isn't speech that you hate.
Right.
And I think that goes along. That's one of the biggest things that resonates with me is that people are so quick to say, what you said is hate speech or you're racist and this and that. And just because you don't agree with it doesn't make it fucking hate speech. Mason's going ham.
Mason said they're underfunded already. They're way too busy.
He said that they fund the police line and fake woke is amazing.
They're underfunded already. They're way too busy to work, order food, and call the cops. See what reaches you first. It's
true.
No, yeah. So the line is they're underfunded already. They're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops. See which one reaches you first. Yes. Very true. And that we talked about this on Defund the Police. I don't think anybody, well, I should say neither of us is for defunding the police. Now, reallocating funds with police, absolutely. There are ways we could structure their job
resources.
Easier. Yes, adding money to one day being able to defund some of the police, absolutely. If we can cut down the police force in half because we have so many other things that we offer, sure, why not? But you can't just fire the police. That's not really how that would work.
No. Anyway, Pat, good show, man.
You want to do a vocabulary game?
Did you bring the taser?
I did not bring the taser.
Did not. Dip is going to fuck you up, bro.
The Dip's in Vegas right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
Yeah. Dip's in Vegas. He's not listening. He doesn't care.
He's going to listen to this on this plane ride home.
I doubt that he's going to listen. He's going to be sleeping off a week-long Coke and alcohol-fueled binge on his ride home.
He doesn't strike me as a Coke guy.
Because he's fat? He can't like Coke because he's too heavy?
If I like Coke, I'd be able to ride on that Harry Potter ride.
That's true. And I don't think that Dip likes Coke. I just think he likes the way it smells. I'm not positive on that one. No, I don't actually think that Dip Daisy Whistle uses any drugs other than nicotine. And I'm not sure that he still uses nicotine.
He vapes.
Oh.
Did you hear? Is he listening to you live? Calling you?
Dude, my father, because I'm going to visit my father at the end of the month. So he recently sent me pictures of drone footage of his home.
Nice.
Holy shit. And man, he just works and works and works on that fucking farm.
That's another one I wasn't invited to.
Why, you want to come?
Hey, Pat, let me ask you.
Open invitation all the time.
I have another vacation coming up in July. How are we going to do that one?
What's the vacation?
Aruba.
Oh, then I don't really have a good answer for you. Maybe we can have Mason on the show with me. We could have done that this time, but you opted not to.
Well, Mason's not very...
That's his pond.
Let's go, dude.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Mason is that's all his, huh?
No, that's like the living portion. For look on any side and you have like all this is horse pasture. There's a ton of it. This is all woods. This is all woods.
Let's go.
It's crazy.
As I said earlier in the show, we learned our week vacation at Mason's not as dedicated as us to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast or the Number 9 with Tommy Gaming. But hey, not all of us are as dedicated as the others. So I'm not sure that I would trust the show in Mason's hands for 2 episodes. Never mind 1.
I am confident that Mason will have no issue doing the podcast. I actually am really debating. You've mentioned a second setup.
You talk to your chat, Mason. You talk to your chat. That's who you're supposed to talk to.
I found it hard to stream solo. There is no one there to talk to. Mason, you should have called me. I would have played Call of Duty with you. I'm lying, but it's after the fact, so he doesn't know that I'm lying.
I just, as soon as it's over, I'll do the update for Call of Duty because they got a new map.
We talked about a second setup at my house so we could record in both places. If we do that, I also think that I am going to do a lot of like intro and outro music work, and work on making segments instead of like the open form that we have. I want to make it more regimented.
I'm all about it. I mean, no bullshit. You can come here anytime you want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if we did it at my house, it's so much easier. Like I get home, it's late, and I just sit down and start plugging away.
I hear you.
And I go on. I'm very streaky. Like I could leave my house and get up here and be unmotivated. If I sit down and start when I'm motivated, it's a wrap. I'll work for hours.
I streamed twice instead of 3 times, by the way. Just missed Monday. And you didn't stream on Sunday.
Did you
or Saturday?
Did you tweet or anything on any of the things while you were gone?
No, I don't.
We're up at 130 followers on Instagram.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. We're up to 33 followers on Twitter, 48 subscribers on YouTube. Once we hit that 50, we got another I don't know what we're calling challenge
Maybe
punishment.
That's where the taser will come into hand.
I think the taser's going to come in hand before that.
Then, so we're just sending the taser for free, huh? Just at Dip Dizzy Whistle's demand?
Well, weren't we supposed to do the hot chips? We streamed Saturday, Bub. I wasn't here Saturday, so I don't know who we is.
Maybe him and whatever. He said, no, never mind, we didn't. Well then, solid point.
No, you guys were all partying at Pat's house Saturday.
Oh my God. I'm not going to say out loud what my father just sent me, but I will show you.
I love it. I fucking love it.
It's going to be a long vacation.
How long are you going for? It's just a weekend, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy to be back. We'll see you guys Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. or Thursday morning at 1 a.m. Pat and I, we got to come up with a new Would You Rather.
I don't think we really sent out the last Would You Rather.
Yes, we did.
Okay, then we'll come up with a new Would You Rather.
We did. We did not send out a newsletter for the week we were on vacation.
I gotcha. The other thing I want to do, and again, so I wanted to do debates on here where you take one side, I take another side, but we do it by flipping a coin to see who takes what, like the death sentence or abortion or whatever. And that went over like a fart in church. Nobody wanted to do it, so we're not going to do it. But I want to do a full episode on individuals. So basically, have somebody, we're going to have to go outside of the podcast, interview that person at length, and then do an episode on that person through the interview. So we'll play clips in the episode. I think that would be interesting as well. And we have some interesting people to start with, and then maybe we could migrate into other people.
Okay.
And coming up soon, when this fucking weather, by the way, on Friday, I drove to work in a snowstorm.
I heard.
I have pictures.
I heard.
But when the weather breaks and is actually fucking nice outside and it's not just the tip, then we will hit the public and we will talk with people at gas stations and street corners and fucking Walmarts and all kinds of other places.
Yeah. We got a lot of, hopefully a lot of new content. We're going to be making some changes, which I haven't introduced to Pat yet. I don't think he's going to give a fuck either way. But we got some new stuff coming up for everything. We're pretty excited about it. Anything you want to add, Pat?
I say good day.
I never once dropped in the
advertisement?
Oh, I forgot to tell you what Griff said.
What?
I want to do it on the podcast. You got to remind me on Wednesday.
Okay.
He texted me about Virgo.
Oh, you tried it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
We're still live on YouTube.
Did Griff not like Bird Code?
We're still live on YouTube.
Griff didn't like Bird Code.
Mason, are we streaming today? Later on?
If Griff didn't like Bird Code, I don't know how I can continue being friends with him. It's the greatest chicken sandwich in the history of chicken or sandwiches.
Mason, I'm waiting to hear back from you before I close down the stream. I want to play 7 Days. Obviously.
He said not sure. That's awesome. Oh, God.
Mason, I'll hop in Discord in a few minutes. Talk to you guys later. Deuces.
My entire timeline